Thanks for joining us to learn how you and your team can track SEO performance and see where you stack up against industry standards. Let's get started.
Let's talk about SEO. So SEO, or search engine optimization, this is what you hear about all the time. And why do you hear about SEO all the time? Because technically it's free. Like, you don't have to spend like cash, like, oh, you don't have to say I'm gonna budget $3 million for SEO like you do for PPC. What you have to do is you have to have people that are qualified and that understand your market to ensure that your content is getting results through search engine optimization. So what's the difference? The difference is, and we have this big mantra at Infragistics for our Reveal product, for our DevTools products. We have like a bunch of different products. And so the range of keywords are very different based on the product set, but it's millions of dollars in revenue. It's millions of dollars in revenue being number 5 versus being number 1. And so when you're number 1 in a search result, so think about it, you can go search for anything. And if it's a really popular keyword like dashboard or business intelligence, there's going to be 5 ads. And then the first item is going to be the guy who did the work to get to number 1 for that search term. Now that person is going to be the first one that's clicked in a high percentage of time. Now what I do, because I'm a very skeptical person, I'm always clicking on the first few to go read the websites. Very rarely do I go to page 2 or page 3. But what this means is, did I spend $1.90 to get you to click on my display ad? Or did I get it for free because I did the work for SEO? So search engine optimization is important. So there's 6 metrics for measuring SEO success: organic sessions, keyword ranking over time, conversions, bounce rates, pages, sessions, and session duration. So just a little tip, like this is something, like I said, we spend a lot of time at Infragistics. Casey's an expert at it. We hire experts at it. And you need to have someone on your team who is very analytical and who can dig into the numbers to really understand what's going on. So it's not as simple as, oh, we want to rank number 1 for embedded BI, so let's put embedded BI 1,000 times on our page. It's not going to work. Google's algorithms are going to see through that. So there's all these techniques that go into getting higher into SEO. So of course, the way your content's arranged, what's the length of your content? How are your keywords used within that content? And is the content relevant to the keywords you're trying to rank for? Are people linking to that page? So there's this concept called backlinks, which also helps your SEO ranking. And then what is all of your meta tags and other information that's not visible to the user? What does it say about the page? And so there's all this stuff that goes into getting to be in the top page, and then in the top 5, and then in the top 3, and then number 1. There's no book that says if you do this, you'll be number 1, because Google's constantly changing their algorithms, and it's highly coveted and highly secret because the results are millions of dollars back in revenue to people who can do the work and really figure out the puzzle. So while we can give guidance, there is no like, here's the silver bullet. So there's definitely at Infragistics, what we do is we use tools to determine what are the most popular keywords for the products that we build and that we're trying to sell. And then out of those keywords, which ones get the most searches per month? Out of those searches, which ones are in high paying segments of the market? So are they in the United States and in Europe, or are they in low paying regions, like whatever? Are they in North Korea? Or they don't really have internet there, but there's regions where, yeah, you might get people looking for it, but they're never going to buy the product, or there's hackers. So one of the things, and not to talk about Russian bots and Russian websites, but it's amazing how many backlinks we get from .ru. And so there's a lot going on to where people are trying to trick these SEO search engines, but Google sees through it. So you really got to be careful. And then one of the things you can do is if there are backlinks that are hurting you, go get those removed, right? Because that will affect your organic keyword success. So it's amazing what you start learning when you look through the tools and how you can tweak things to constantly get SEO success. But the thing is, you need to use tools to tell you how you're getting success. So one of the tools I know we use is Google. So Casey, can you talk a little bit about how we use Google to help us for search and keywords and things like that?
Yeah, we use both. What you're showing here is Google Analytics, and we use Google Search Console as well. So these images here highlight how there's actually a benchmarking tool within Google Analytics where you can select your industry that best relates to you, and you can see how you're stacking up against other people for things such as your sessions, your bounce rate, new visitors that you're getting, essentially any metric that you see there kind of behind, like how long people are staying on your website. So underneath the audience side on the right hand side there, you see the benchmark per channel, location, and device. So a lot of that is built right into the box there. And then we use things like Google Search Console where you can see what keywords exactly are leading to clicks to come to your website. You can see an average over time your ranking for particular keywords. So we'll look at both of those. So we have our top 5 keywords for all of our product lines that we look at the average ranking for each month and see how we're improving there. And then we see, okay, what else is bringing them people to the website, because they're not all coming from the top 5 keywords, although we wish they were. But then you'll see like how much brand awareness you have and how maybe you're not attracting the right users with your organic traffic and things like that.
You know, and then one of the other things we went through at Infragistics is we have a forums, like, you know, where you can go and ask questions and get answers. And we've been in business for decades, so there's millions of pages across our web properties. And so what we discovered maybe 4 years ago was that Google was penalizing us because of spammy links in content on our site. So would these tools be able to help someone like get that level of detail, or are there other tools that help do that?
That would be more so in Ahrefs. You can get a lot of that information. So looking at your what's it called, the URL domain ranking that they have.
Oh yeah, the domain ranking.
Yeah, that takes into account all of those things, and they allow you to dig deeper into all of those different aspects.
Okay, so that's definitely something to look forward to. So when I mention like the Russian bots, and in all seriousness, what happens is whoever, it doesn't matter. They try to spam whoever they can to affect your website. And you might say, I'm a small guy. And that's what we thought. Like, why would anyone try to attack our website and start polluting it with spam, like spam replies, bad links to websites that don't exist? But it happened over a period of time. And if you don't remove that, then Google penalizes you. And so then you might think you have the perfect content, and why am I not in the top page at least? There's other factors that go into this that you really need to understand the full impact of how these web searches work and what Google is doing to either say, yes, you are valid and good, and we're going to rank you and we're going to include you, or you know what, we're going to penalize you and knock a couple points off of these pages, which is going to affect your overall ranking, which is going to affect what Casey just mentioned, this domain ranking, and that'll affect your search results.
Be sure to check out the next video in this series where I walk you through how to turn your marketing data into beautiful dashboards. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Reveal BI.